Chairman, Mr. Quintins, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Senator.
Good to see you and your family. Thanks for willingness to serve. You know, for the last 4 years, the Biden administration led an attack on cryptocurrencies and digital assets. It was obvious to all of us. I think you know that better than anybody. One of the ways they did this was by attacking leaders in the digital asset industry like yourself. I'm glad to see that today we live in a new world with the most pro-crypto president and administration that we have seen. I'm eager to see you lead the CFTC as we enter the golden age of American innovation and prosperity, and I look forward to supporting your nomination. When you came by my office prior to this hearing, we discussed how you were debanked because of your leadership and stance on digital assets. For years, my Democrat colleagues said that this was not happening. Obviously, it was. You were even sent a letter informing you that you were being debanked. Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask for unanimous consent that the letter dated July the 7th, 2023, from UBS to Mr. Quintins be entered into the record. Thank you. Mr. Quintins, would you like to discuss this letter and the broader Biden administration attack on crypto?
Thank you very much, Senator. I was very disappointed to receive that. First of all, I'd like to say that the relationship manager, financial advisor mentioned in that letter is a trusted family friend, and I don't hold this against him at all. I think the only reason why this would happen is because of pressure from the regulators to debank a disfavored industry. And these were accounts that were set up for my children to receive $100 worth of stock from their grandparents for Christmas. So I don't want to also overemphasize the pain that it caused me, but I think it is endemic of what happened during the last administration that I do not think represented American values. And I know from personal experience that there were investments that our firm was trying to make into small teams, and our firm couldn't even send them a check because they couldn't open a bank account because they were in the crypto industry. I believe legal businesses deserve access to legal services, and I'm glad that that is starting to change.
Thank you. Probably a pretty tough time, and I understand what you're going through. We're all curious about the growth of prediction markets. Can you talk about the benefits of the markets and how various businesses and industries can use them for risk management when they otherwise may not have access to appropriate hedging tools?
Thank you, Senator. When I was at the commission, I read the law, and the law was clear that the Commodity Exchange Act recognizes that an event that poses financial, commercial, or economic consequences is a commodity. And I think the reason that the Commodity Futures Modernization Act of 2000 that was passed into law, signed by President Clinton, did that was because it recognized that events pose risks to individuals, small businesses, and large firms in the same way that exposure to physical commodity prices do. And these have been hedged in events have been hedged in various capacities for a long time. It's just been through large Wall Street firms, through very complicated products where there isn't a lot of sight into how they operate and a market trading mechanism to create clarity around that. So with the way that this innovation is evolving, there are going to be many new methods for individuals to be able to hedge risks that they otherwise couldn't, because the innovation can be targeted to a specific event and they don't have to use some other generic form of hedging that may not correlate to that risk.
Thank you. Can you discuss the regulatory enforcement clarity between the SEC and the CFTC as it relates to crypto, and what further congressional actions need to be taken?
Thank you, Senator. So as I saw when I was at the CFTC and as I saw after I left, the agencies either share jurisdiction over the crypto spot enforcement markets or markets through enforcement, but really it has been the SEC's decision to make in terms of which products are securities that then they carve out and take into their own jurisdiction. And unfortunately, I believe that there was not any clarity that was offered to the marketplace and to innovators and entrepreneurs to understand how they could build something that complied with the law, or how they could build something that was within the SEC's jurisdiction that was able to follow those rules. Both agencies have had experience in the enforcement area of crypto, but for the CFTC, it has mostly confined itself to fraud, events of fraud, which are standard Ponzi schemes, which isn't necessarily people using cryptocurrency, but it's saying that they're using cryptocurrency for investments and then just stealing people's money. To the extent that new clarity can be added so that innovators and entrepreneurs can build compliantly, I think is a critical thing for Congress to consider.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.